Let us look at the first problem. It says find the open circuit parameters, right? Open circuit parameters for the given network. Open circuit parameters indicates the impedance parameters. So we have been given a network and we have been asked to find the open circuit parameters, that is the Z parameters for the given circuit, right? If observing the circuit closely, we observe that it's a two-port network consisting of input voltage V1, input current I1 associated with port 1, there is a voltage V2 and current I2 associated with port 2. We now need to find the Z parameters associated with this particular two-port network. To find the Z parameters, the first very step is that we'll apply KVL to loop 1. So we'll apply the mesh analysis to find the Z parameters. So we identify three mesh here. This is loop 1, mesh 1, this is mesh 2 and this is mesh 3. Wherever there is a current I2 associated in the mesh, let us call that particular mesh or that particular loop as loop 2. So there is a current I1 here, so we'll call this as loop 1. There is a current I2 in this loop, so we'll call this as loop 2 and the remaining loop we'll call as loop 3. So I1 is the current through loop 1, I2 is the current through loop 2 and I3 is the current through loop 3. So let us apply KVL to loop 1. We'll associate the polarities of V1 and V2 so that we can correctly apply KVL. So these are the polarities of V1 and V2 as shown. So starting with V1, applying KVL, the equation is V1 minus 1 into the currents which flows through this resistor. So the current which flows through this resistor are two currents, current I1 and I3. Observing closely, we see that I1 and I3 are in the opposite directions. Since we are in loop 1, I1 is the primary current and therefore we say that the net current which flows through 1 ohm resistor is I1 minus I3, right? So we have taken the first equation parameter to be minus 1 into I1 minus I3. Now we come to the next element of the loop, which is the 2 ohm resistor, right? The current through 2 ohm resistor is again two currents, I1 and I2, right? There are two currents which flows through this 2 ohm resistor. As we are in loop 1, I1 is the primary current and we observe that both these currents are in the same direction. The current which flows through 2 ohm resistor is both the currents are in the same direction. That's why you need to add the current. So total current through 2 ohm resistor is I1 plus I2. So it is minus 2 into I1 plus I2 is equal to 0. So this is the first loop equation that we have obtained by applying KVL to loop 1. So simplifying this, we get an equation in terms of V1, I1, I2, I3, all the variables are seen here. So V1 associated with all the three currents of the loop. Similarly, now we proceed and analyze loop 2. We'll apply KVL to loop 2. So this is the voltage V2. So starting with this particular voltage V2, so it is V2 minus, right? The current through 3 ohm resistor is, there are two currents we observe. The first is the current I2 along with the current I3 from the loop 3. So as we are in loop 2, I2 is the primary current and we observe that both the currents through 3 ohm resistor are in the same direction and therefore it is a sum of the two currents. So I2 plus I3, right? So current, the voltage across the 3 ohm resistor is minus 3 into I2 plus I3. Moving forward, the next element which comes in the loop is the 2 ohm resistor. So the voltage that is generated in the 2 ohm resistor is minus 2 into the currents. So what are the two currents that flow through this 2 ohm resistor is I1 and I2. And we observe that both the currents through the 2 ohm resistor are in the same direction. So as the currents are in the same direction, the resultant current is the sum of I1 plus I2. So this is the second loop equation that we got by applying KVL to loop 2. Simplifying it, we observe that the equation which we get is relating V2 to all the three loop currents. So the first equation related V1 to all the elements or current elements, and second equation is relating V2 to all the current elements of the circuit. Now we have one more loop to analyze, that is loop 3. So let us apply KVL to loop 3. So there are three elements which come into picture: the 4 ohm resistor, the 3 ohm resistor, and the 1 ohm resistor. All the three elements need to be analyzed when we apply KVL to this particular loop. So starting with 4 ohm resistor, it is minus 4 into I3. The only current which flows through 4 ohm resistor is I3, and therefore the voltage that gets generated is 4 into I3. So minus 4 into I3 minus the currents which flow through 3 ohm resistor is I2 and I3, both flowing in the same direction, and therefore the net current which flows through this is I2 plus I3, and therefore the voltage which is generated is minus 3 into I2 plus I3. Moving forward to 1 ohm resistor, the current flowing through 1 ohm resistor is again two currents, I1 and I3. And what we observe is that both the currents are in opposite direction. And as we are in loop 3, I3 is the primary current, and therefore the net current which flows through this 1 ohm resistor is I3 minus I1. So applying the KVL to loop 3, the resultant equation is as shown here. Simplifying this, we get I3. We solve this equation and we obtain I3 in terms of I1 and I2. We have analyzed this loop 3 equation, and we have analyzed it and we got the equation in terms of I3, expressing I3 in terms of I1 and I2. The next thing is we'll replace this I3 equation, we'll substitute this I3 equation in equations 1 and 2, so that we get V1 associated with only two currents, I1 and I2, and similarly when we substitute this in equation 2, we get V2 expressed in terms of I1 and I2. So substituting I3, this particular equation I3 in equation 1 and 2, and simplifying, you could see here when we substituted this in equation 1, when we substituted I3, when we substituted this I3 in equation 1, right, we got an equation which is now V1 expressed in terms of I1 and I2. Similarly, when this I3 was substituted in equation 2, this is our equation 2, substituting this I3, replacing this I3 with the equation that we have got, we get an equation which is V2 expressed in terms of I1 and I2. So closely look at your equation 3 and 4. Closely look at your equation 3 and 4, right? We are interested in finding the z parameters, right? When we are intended to find the z parameters, we should have an equation which is relating the voltages in terms of current. So we need to have an expression wherein V1 is associated with both the currents I1 and I2, and we need to have V2 associated with both the currents from the network I1 and I2. So equation 3 and 4 are put in a form wherein we satisfy the equations of the Z parameter, right? So this is the standard equation of a Z parameter. So if we relate this with the equation of standard Z parameter equation, we get V1 as Z11 I1, Z12 I2. If I compare this with the regular equation of the Z parameter, right, then it can be written as V1 Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2. Similarly, I can express V2 as Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2. So using this equation 3 and 4, if we express this equation in a matrix form, you get a matrix as shown here. So this is your Z11, this is Z12, this is Z21 and Z22. So this is how we have found the Z parameters for the given circuit. Let us look at second example. The second example is again focusing on finding the Z parameters for the given network. So we'll proceed the way we have done earlier. We need to apply KVL. To apply KVL, we need to identify the loop. So the three loops are observed here. This is loop 1, loop 2, loop 3. Look at the current. Loop 1 has current I1. So we have called the current through this as I1. This loop we have called as loop 2. This loop we are calling loop 2 because there is a current I2 which flows through this particular loop. And therefore, if we have a current I2 associated with this loop, let us call this particular loop as loop 2, right? And then we have the only loop which is left, we'll call this loop as loop 3. So look at the loop assignment that has been done following the currents given in the network, right? So since the current given here is I1 and I2, so maintaining the same currents, right, we labeled the loops as loop 1, loop 2 and this as loop 3 having a current I3. So let us apply KVL to each of the loop. So applying KVL to first loop, right, assigning a polarity to this voltages V1 and V2 as shown here. We can write the KVL equation as V1 minus I1, the only current that flows through this resistor is I1, minus 2 into the currents which flows through 2 ohm resistor. So we observe that two currents flow through this 2 ohm resistor. One is current I1 and second is I3. Both the currents are in reverse direction, right? I1 being the primary current, we can write the equation as I1 minus I3. So the net current which flows through 2 ohm resistor is I1 minus I3. Right, so this is the loop equation that we get by applying KVL to loop 1. Simplifying, we get the equation wherein we have associated V1 with current I1 and I3. Similarly, let us apply KVL to loop 2, this particular loop. So this has only one network element, that is 2 ohm resistor. So the equation is simpler. V2 minus 2. What is the current that flows through 2 ohm resistor? Are two currents, I2 and I3. Right? And both these currents as observed here are flowing through in the same direction. And that's why the equation is V2 minus 2 I2 plus I3. So simplifying this, we get an equation which is relating V2 to current I2 and I3. The next step is now we'll apply KVL to loop 3. So applying KVL to loop 3, right? There are three network elements which are coming into picture when we go for loop 3. This is the first element, second element and the third element. So we need to consider all the three elements when we applying KVL to this loop. So starting with this particular first 1 ohm resistor, we get the current which flows through 1 ohm resistor is only the current I3. So it is minus I3 minus 2 into the current which flows through 2 ohm resistor is I3 plus I2. So the current which flows through 2 ohm resistor is I3 plus I2. Both are in the same direction. Moving forward, coming to this particular 2 ohm resistor, we observe that again there are two currents which flow through it. And how are the currents? The currents are in reverse direction, right? Both the currents that flow through this are in reverse direction. As I3 is the primary current, we say I3 minus I1 is the net current which flows through 2 ohm resistor, right? So after framing the equation and simplifying loop 3, we have expressed I3 in terms of I2 and I1. We have expressed I3 in terms of I2 and I1. Now following the same procedure as done earlier, we will replace I3 term from equation 1 and 2 by substituting I3 in terms of the new relation that we have got as 2I1 minus 2I2 by 5. So we'll substitute I3 in equation 1, we'll substitute I3 in equation 2, and doing this and simplifying, we have obtained equation number 3 and equation number 4. So we substituted I3 in equation 1, we substituted I3 in equation 2, we simplified it and we got an equation which is V1 expressed in terms of I1, I2 and V2 which is expressed in terms of I1 and I2. Right? So this equation 3 and 4 are satisfying the Z parameter equation wherein we get V1 as Z11 I1, Z12 I2. Now we observe here V2 to be Z21 I1 and Z22 I2. So the equation 3 and 4 gives us the Z parameter which are associated with the given network. So expressing equation 3 and 4 in matrix form, we get a matrix as shown here, from which we can easily find that this value is Z11, this is Z12, Z21 and Z22. Now let us solve a problem on Y parameter. So you have been given a network here and you have been asked to find the Y parameters. So when we go to Y parameters, let us look at the relation that we have to frame so that we get the Y parameters. So when we are going to Y parameters, we need to have an equation which is I1 in terms of V1, V2 and I2 in terms of V1 and V2. So we need to always keep a focus what kind of equation we need to get from the circuit so that we get these parameters y11 to y22. So to get this relationship, we cannot move with the usual KVL approach. Let us go with the equation. Let us look at the equation of those y parameters, and according to the equation of the y parameters, we will make the corresponding changes in the circuit. So to get y11, we will first of all find y11 and y21. We will find these two parameters. So when we are finding these two parameters, what we observe is that to get y11, right, we need to make this parameter 0. We need to make this parameter 0. Similarly, to get y21, we need to make this parameter 0. So to get y11, we need to make v2 0, and to get y21, v2 should be 0. So v2 should be made 0 to get y11, y21, and that's the reason why we are finding these two by making v2 0. Once we make v2 0, we can get these two parameters. So the process starts with finding y11 and y21 by making v2 0. So what is v2? v2 is the voltage at port 2. And V2 should be made 0. It means that we need to short circuit the output port. So if you see, the figure is modified and we have short circuited the output port. The current I2 is as shown. We have short circuited the output port, right? So we can now find the equivalent resistance here. We observe that 2 ohm and 3 ohm resistance are in parallel. We get the equivalent resistance to be 1.2 ohms, which is parallel combination of 2 and 3. So now the circuit modifies to a circuit in which there is a voltage V1, current flowing through 1 ohm resistor, and the current which flows through parallel combination of these two as shown here as 1.2 ohms. So we can apply simple KVL here and we can get an equation which is V1 is equal to 2.2 I1. So applying KVL to this loop, we get V1 as 2.2 of I1. So therefore, now I can calculate Y11. Y11, as we see, is the ratio of I1 by V1. If you look at the Y11 equation, Y11 is the ratio of I1 by V1 with the condition that V2 is 0. So we have already made V2 0. So here we can directly get the Y11 parameter by the equation I1 by V1 when V2 is equal to 0, right? So we know that I1, we kept I1 as it is, V1 as 2.2 I1. So I1 gets cancelled. We get an equation which is 1 upon 2.2, which is equivalent to 5 by 11 mho. The admittance parameter has a unit of mho. Now we have to find Y21. To get Y21, I'll again use I'll use a circuit wherein we had short circuited the output port, right? So we'll use this circuit wherein we had short circuited before finding the equivalent resistance. So here, to get Y21, I need to first of all find the current I2, because Y21 is the ratio of I2 by V1. So to get y21, we need to find I2. So we can see that we can find I2 by using a simple current division. So at this particular node, this current I1 gets divided into two parts. Right? We are interested in finding the current through this 3 ohm resistance. So after doing a current division, the current which flows through 3 ohm resistor is, let us say it is I2 dash. So current which flows through 3 ohm resistor is in this direction, and let me call that current to be I2 dash. So how can I express the equation of I2 dash by applying current division? So I2 dash is the applying current division 2 upon 2 plus 3 into the current I1. So I2 by applying current division is 2I1 by 5. And what we know, I2 dash is, how is it related to I2? So I2 is reverse of I2 dash. I2 is reverse of I2 dash, and therefore we have expressed it with a minus sign. So I2 is minus of I2 dash. So substituting, we get I2 to be minus 2 by 5 of I1. So now we can calculate Y21, because now we have got I2. We needed the current I2. So Y21 is the ratio of I2 by V1. So I2 is, as we just calculated, minus 2 by 5 of I1, and V1 we had already calculated, which was 2.2 of I1. So putting the value of I2 and V1, we get Y21, which is having a value of minus 2 by 11 mho. Minus 2 by 11 mho. So what we have done is, we have found only two parameters of Y, which were Y11 and Y21, and we found these two Y parameters by shorting the output port V2. So we short circuited the output port, and with this we calculated Y11 and Y21. Now what we are left to calculate is Y12 and Y22. So as observed in the equation, to get Y12 and Y22, what you need to do is, you need to short circuit the input port, and that's what is done in the next step. To get Y12 and Y22, we need to short circuit V1. So as shown in the figure here, we have short circuited the input port. To get the two parameters Y12 and Y22, we have short circuited the input port. So to find these Y parameters, let us first find the equivalent resistance of this particular two resistors. So we observe that these two resistors are in parallel. So equivalent resistance will be 1 parallel to, that is 2 by 3 ohms. So we got an equivalent resistance of this, because of which the circuit can be shown with the replacing this by equivalent resistance. So we have replaced these two resistors by the equivalent resistance. Applying KVL to this loop, we get V2 in terms of I2, the current which flows here, V2 in terms of I2, and we know that Y22 is the ratio of V2 by I2. So we calculated V2 by I2, and it turns out to be 3 by 11 mho. Right? We are interested in I2 by V2. So we need to take the reciprocal of this, which is 3 by 11 mho. Now to calculate the next parameter, which is Y21, what you need to do is, we will again look at the circuit before finding the equivalent circuit. So to get Y12, to get this parameter Y12, we need I1. We need to have this value Y1, I1. So to get this I1, we'll apply current division at this particular node. We'll apply current division at this node, right? So I2 current which flows and comes to this particular node is getting divided into two currents. So let us say the current which flows through towards 1 ohm resistor is I1 dash. So we'll calculate I1 dash by applying current division. So applying current division, we got I1 dash to be 2 by 3 of I2. Right? We calculate I1 dash. It is the opposite resistance divided by the sum of the resistance into the input current. So it is 2 by 3 of I2. And what we know, I1 is reverse of I1 dash. They are in opposite direction, and therefore we need to take I1 to be minus of I1 dash. So So we get minus 2 by 3 of I2. So now we calculate Y12. Y12 is the ratio of I1 by V2. I1 as just computed is minus 2 by 3 of I2, and V2 we have already calculated as 11 by 3 I2. So doing the substitution, simplifying this particular equation, we get Y12 to be minus 2 by 11 mho. So we have calculated all the parameters of the network, all the Y parameters. So expressing this in matrix form is a better way to show the output. So Y is 5 by 11, which is Y11, minus 2 by 11, which is Y12, minus 2 by 11, which is Y21, and 3 by 11, which is Y22. So these are the Y parameters of the given network.